Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Easy Like Sunday Morning podcast. I am your host, Charles Watson, and I hope you guys are having a great weekend. So, guys, let's jump in. Today, I want to share with you guys just some traits that successful entrepreneurs kind of all share. These are traits that you really need to work on in your business and in your brand to kind of just be a highly successful entrepreneur and work on yourself. Good morning, Kevin. I hope you've seen Avengers Endgame. It was great. If not, I highly recommend you go watch it. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into the video. And you know, guys, I understand that entrepreneurship isn't really for everyone. And that not necessarily, all entrepreneurs are not created from the same blueprint. People come from different backgrounds, people come from different upbringings, people come from different social classes and education levels. But the test of time really proves that even though there isn't a cookie cutter blueprint on how to become an entrepreneur, a closer look at successful entrepreneurs and successful business people really reveals that most entrepreneurs share a few common traits. And that's kind of what I want to share with you guys. Kind of want to share with you the recipe for becoming a successful entrepreneur and things that you should really work on your personal self in order to push you towards success. The number one tip I have, and that I've realized in my research, is that entrepreneurs, they pursue knowledge. Every successful entrepreneur that I've been able to talk to, and I've started interviewing people for our Social Light podcast series, they all pretty much say that the key factors to their success is pretty much continual learning or acquiring knowledge. Continual learning is your self-motivated persistence in acquiring the knowledge and the understanding so that you can expand your skill set and develop future opportunities. Successful entrepreneurs, they always seem to be looking to expand their knowledge so that they can really drive innovation in their brands and their businesses. They can drive personal innovation and personal growth and really just learn new concepts and share those concepts with their target markets. There's some people out there that say, hey, I can't be an entrepreneur. You really got lucky. And it really doesn't come down to luck at all. It really comes down to the pursuit of knowledge. The second trait that most successful entrepreneurs share is that they know how to take risks and they're not afraid to take risks. In talking to some of the most successful entrepreneurs that I know, they tell me right away that without risk, there is no reward. And when most people hear the word risk, they automatically think about, finance. Hey, good morning, Anthony, that they have to invest in monetarily and risk. And that's not true. I mean, there are different types of risk. Risk can come in the form of the time that you invest in a project. It can come from partnering with the wrong person. So risk can come from partnerships. And risk, I think the biggest risk that we all face as an entrepreneur is when is the time to leave your 9-to-5 job and go all in on your idea. Success doesn't really come from your comfort zone, guys. You really don't grow and you really don't expand and you really don't acquire any new skills when you feel comfortable. The most successful entrepreneurs know that they can step out of their comfort zone, take risks, and hopefully those risks pay off in the future. And not all risks do pay off. That's important to know. Not everything that you're going to try and not everything that you're going to gamble on is going to pan out. The third tip I have for you guys is a lot of successful entrepreneurs, they have confidence. They have a high level of confidence in themselves, and they are able to perform and succeed under the most stressful conditions. Strong confidence, a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you, is What will allow you to take bigger risks and notice opportunities when they arise? Where most people see a challenge, the confident entrepreneur sees the finish line and the end reward. And there are different ways to gain that confidence. And I'm telling you, the first two tie into the third. And I hope you guys are seeing how all these tips and all these traits are interrelatable and kind of build on one another. You can build your confidence by learning more about your niche, learning more about your target market, expanding your skill set. You can, raise confidence by taking risks that become successful. Every time you step out of your comfort zone and you take a risk and that risk is successful, you build self-confidence. You have more trust in yourself, and you have more trust in the direction that you are leading your brand and your company. So confidence is number three. I'm sorry. Number four is you have to understand failure. And this is a big one because I think people are afraid to fail. And we've been taught by society over the last few years, and I think the social pressures of social media really drive this home for people, that people don't want to share failures. In fact, if you look at most of your friends' social media platforms and social media profiles, how many times do they share when they've been defeated? Like how many people share when they've lost? How many people share when they've had a bad day? How many people share when their project fell apart? You really don't see that a lot. Social media is kind of like this false positive, platform, and where people always want to put their best foot forward. It's kind of fake. And this kind of promotes the community, and this kind of promotes the mindset that failure is not acceptable in our society. And that's just absolutely not true. And to prove this, I want to share with you a quote from Richard Branson, who is one of the most successful entrepreneurs ever. Richard Branson says, "The few first ventures work out. It is how a beginning entrepreneur deals with failure that sets that person apart. In fact, failure is one of the secrets to success, since some of the best ideas arise from the ashes of a shuttered business. Successful entrepreneurs understand that failure is part of the process and the pathway to success." And I really think that this is one of the most important traits out of the four, and one of the traits that probably needs the most work. Like, it's pretty easy to acquire knowledge. All you got to do is read a book, take a course, find a mentor. That's no big deal. You can do that. And it's pretty easy to take risks too. Like, you can gamble all your money away, or you can invest in some stupid ideas. Like, risk is out there, In fact, I'll argue that a lot of people take too much risk, and you really need to say no to every opportunity and look for opportunities that better match your style and match your interests. So risk is super easy. Confidence is pretty easy to come up with. You succeed a couple times, you sell a book, you write a book, you take a lap, you exercise 3 times a week, you feel good. It's super easy to grab that confidence. I think the hardest one is understanding failure. People really get uncomfortable when they need to take a look within themselves, and they need to self-reflect over things that they have done bad or badly. I think we have been taught that failure is no good, but it's really not. Failure is nothing more than a learning experience that's going to teach you how to adjust and overcome future obstacles. And this is super important to keep in mind. And this is important. So listen, there is no success without failure. In fact, without failure, we really wouldn't even know what success was, right? The same argument can be said for good versus evil. Without evil, we wouldn't know what good is. Without good, we wouldn't know what evil is. Failure is part of the process. The most successful entrepreneurs never forget how much they can learn from working on these 4 basic traits and understanding failure. And guys, it takes effort and it takes dedication. But if you can always take a step back and adjust and at least learn one principle, then the failure is worth it. Guys, working to master these traits will ensure that you have the tools, the knowledge, and the skill set to keep you moving forward and become a success. So guys, that is it for today. Those were 4 traits of an entrepreneur that I wanted to share with you guys. Anyone can do it. You just have to pick one and start working on it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you think you know somebody that might benefit from this information, please feel free to share it for me. I'd really appreciate that. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.